Well, good morning, Bigfork Vikings basketball fans, and welcome to Shelby, Montana, and the Coyote Tip-Off Classic. Malta and Florence getting ready to wrap up their game, about 10 seconds left, and then the Vikings will take on the Shepherd Mustangs. Up next, this is James LaFontaine, the voice of the Vikings and Vals with you. That'll run out the clock as Malta beats Florence 41-32. Up next, like I said, your Vikings will take on the Shepherd Mustangs. Shepherd took on Loyola yesterday and lost by about 25 points. And today they will take on the Vikings. The Vikings last night, if you didn't stay up late to check that ball game, it tipped off a little bit after 9 o'clock last night in the nightcap of this tournament. Games going all day long. And the Vikings won that going away 71-41 in a rematch of the state championship game last year with the Shelby Coyotes. The game started this morning at 8:30. This one just wrapped up, so we'll have the 11:30 ball game for you, and they got about 10 minutes to warm up. The Vikings coming out and warm up, and Shepherd as well for this ball game coming up. As soon as I get the starting lineups, I'll give those to you. Leading the way yesterday for Bigfork was Anders Epperly with 20 points. Logan Gilliard, he got about 15, and Reichenbach had 15 as well. That's Clayton Reichenbach. So overall, good defensive game, and a game to start off the tournament for the Vikings, who are the defending state champs, and will take on the Shepherd Mustangs in this third game of the day, their second of this tournament. And the next week, it'll be a doubleheader on Thursday. And the 13th, Thursday the 13th, as they'll host the Eureka Lady Lions and Lions, the Valkyries, and the Vikings back home. So up next, it's Shepherd, the Mustangs. Don't know much about Shepherd. They play on the east side of Montana, but they're here along with a bunch of other teams for this tip-off tournament. And this is the second year, or maybe even third year, that Bigfork's becoming this here in Shelby, Montana. Belt is here, and the Valkyries will take on Belt at 2:30 this afternoon. Bigfork, Cutbank, Florence Carlton, Loyola Sacred Heart, Malta, Shelby, and then Shepherd. I think Belt is the only Class C school in this tournament. I understand they're really good, so we'll catch that game later on this afternoon with the Valkyries. We'll be back here in a couple minutes. I'll get your starting lineups for this ball game today. Give me a shout out. Let me know you're listening. 406-270-7384. So I understand that you are catching the ball game and tuning in this morning. All right, welcome back to Shelby, Montana. James LaFontaine, the voice of the Vikings of Vals, 406-270-7384. Let me know you're listening. I have your starting lineups. First of all, for Shepherd, a 5'6" junior. Number 3, Tanner Helgeson. At 6'2", a senior. Number 10, Spencer Lepley. Number 24 is a 6'1" senior, Braden Fulton. Badger Martin, 6'4" senior, number 30. And number 34, Eli Feuerstein, a 6'2" senior. So 7 of the 9 players are seniors for the Shepherd Mustangs. And for the Vikings today, just like us, senior laden as well. The starters for Bigfork today, Anders Epperle, number 0, Clayton and Colton Reichenbach, number 1 and number 3, number 10, Randy Stoltz at the guard spot, and number 30, Logan Gilliard will get the start. Vikings won 71-41 last night again against Shelby, and the Coyotes. I'll see if I can get a score from that Shepherd Loyola game. Hang on one moment, I'll get that from you, for you. All right, Chris, my friend from Missoula, gave the score. Loyola beat Shepherd yesterday, 64-40, so by 24. So this will be a good test for the Vikings. See how they do against the Mustangs of Shepherd. Tip off here in just a couple minutes. We'll do starting lineups and all that stuff being announcing. Back with you to wrap up day 2 of this Coyote Tip-Off Classic. So a great job yesterday again by the Vikings. Overall balanced scoring. I think everybody got into the ball game yesterday, and the Vikings will be in their whites today as the home team, you could say, and Shepherd are in their blues with the yellow and white trim. And they have 9 on their lineup. 7 of those are going to be seniors. The same thing with the Bigfork. We have 8 seniors. Luke Smith, again, sitting out, not playing today. Talked to him earlier, actually last night, and found out that he's going back to the doctor. Find out when he'll be back for the Vikings. Makes sure he heals up and is ready to go when we get things underway. We're just about ready for tip-off here from Shelby, Montana, as the Bigfork Vikings will take on the Shepherd Mustangs. 406-270-7384. Just make sure you're catching this game today. Let me know out there and that you can hear me. Yeah, we're running about 10 minutes behind. So only giving 10 minutes on warm-ups. And we'll tip off here, running about 15 minutes late. Hoagie, the Thornton boys' grandpa. listening out there, so I know it's getting through then. Introducing Shepherd right now. So Shepherd starting 1 junior and 4 seniors today. Stein getting introduced. The head coach for the Shepherd Mustangs is Bill Lepley, assisted by Rob Nybe, Dirk Vandenberg. And the head coach, obviously, for the Vikings, Sam Tudor, Joe Pitts, and Jimmy Epperly. So Vikings being introduced right now for Bigfork, the defending state champs, and got off to a good start yesterday. Obviously, in a rematch of the state championship last year between the Vikings and the Coyotes. Shelby, the host team, and the Vikings won that going away again, 71-41. Jack and Donna Grenier and Ron and Shan Corbin also listening back in Bigfork. We're getting ready to tip this one off here in the first quarter. Try to keep up because this will be some fast-paced action today here from Shelby, Montana. A little slow start yesterday, 12-10 after the first quarter for Bigfork, but then they put the foot on the pedal and stepping it up. Colton Reichenbach jumping up center. Shelby wins the opening tap, and back to Spencer Lepley. Lepley up the front court, top of the key, gives it over to Martin. Martin in the quarter. Lepley back to Martin. Martin dribbles it out to the top, gives it to Fulton. Fulton down to Lepley. On the right side to Fulton. Back to Helgeson, top of the key. Anders Epperly with the steal. Going to drive it all the way to the basket. Up and good, coast to coast. Anders Epperly scores the first 2 points of the ball game for the Vikings. Out to a quick start. Pressure. 1-3-1 trap by Vikings. And we're going to call traveling as Spencer Lepley tries to bring it across, and he's going to be called for traveling and turnover to the Vikes into Epperly. Epperly in the backcourt. They'll bring it across the timeline. At the top of the keys in the front court. Guarded by Martin in the corner. Epperly in the corner, feeds it to Colton Reichenbach. Reichenbach's layup no good off the rim. Schultz gets the rebound, gets it back down, tips it to Clayton to Reichenbach. Up and good on the left side for 2. Inbounding. Lepley, the point guard, gives it over to Martin. Martin back to Lepley. Lepley's got the basketball on the left side, feeds it in the corner to Fulton. Fulton knocked out of bounds by Logan Gilliard, and it'll be Shepherd basketball on the side, and Badger Martin to take it out for Shepherd in the front court. Into Lepley, nearly take it away, knocked off. Nice play there by Clayton Reichenbach as he knocks it off of Lepley, and out of bounds. It'll be Viking basketball, inbounding to Epperly. Across the timeline. Top of the key, feeds it over right side at Colton Reichenbach. Out to the top, Logan Gilliard. Over the left side, Epperly's got the basketball. Epperly dribbling, left side. Tries to feed it in, blocked away. Top of the key, Clayton Reichenbach, 3 on the way. Just short off the front of the rim, and Gilliard battles for the rebound. Gilliard over to Epperly on the left side. Surveying it, finds Logan backside. Gilliard tried to tip it up and in, and pushed away and out of bounds off of Logan Gilliard. And it'll be Shepherd basketball with 6:15 to go on your Harvest Foods Bigfork scoreboard. Once again, thanks to Harvest Foods and Marcus Balgos, along with the Bigfork Booster Club. Shepherd with the basketball. Nearly thrown away up in the front court of Feuerstein. Stolen away by Randy Stoltz. Stoltz brings it up across timeline, feeds it to Clayton Reichenbach in the right corner. Epperly at the top of the key, he's going to drive it in, puts it up off the board, no good. Rebounded by Feuerstein. Gives it up to that Lepley. Lepley right side. He stops at the top of the key inside, and Clayton Reichenbach blocks it. Logan Gilliard with the rebound. Epperly up the front court. Over to Reichenbach. Clayton underneath the Randy Stoltz on the break. Stoltz goes up and misses the layup, but he's fouled. He's going to go to the line to shoot 2 for the Vikings. 5:34 on your Harvest Food scoreboard. 4-0 as the Vikings lead. And the foul is on number 24, Braden Fulton, his first. And Stoltz will go to the line to shoot 2 for the Vikings. First shot is up and good. For Randy Stoltz. And the second was also good. So 6-0 with 5:34 to go in the first quarter. The Vikings lead the Mustangs. Lepley gets it across the line time to Martin. Back to Lepley. Lepley in the corner looking, and he's going to turn it over, does Lepley, as the pressure defense from the Vikings. And Vikings basketball. Gilliard into Epperly, up to Randy Stoltz. To the rim, and Stoltz will score with the layup. 8-0, Vikes lead early against the Mustangs. Inbound to Martin. Martin guarded by Clayton Reichenbach. Pressure in the backcourt. Over to Feuerstein. Looking for Lepley. Gets trapped in the corner. Out to Martin. Martin right to Epperly. Passes it. Epperly dribbling up. Bounce pass right to Clayton Reichenbach. Up and 2 more for the Vikes. And Shepherd will take a timeout with 4:51 to go here in the first quarter. And the Vikings leading the Shepherd Mustangs 10-0 early. And everybody getting in on the action. Clayton with 4 early. Epperly with 2, 4 for Randy Stoltz, as Stoltz hits that layup and has 2 for 2 on free throws. Their defensive pressure is getting to the Mustangs this morning. So a 30-second timeout, that's over with. And Shepherd will inbound the ball. Gets it into Tanner Helgeson. Up to Lepley. Lepley out to Helgeson. Helgeson over in the corner, stolen by Logan Gilliard. Feeds it out nearly, and he's going to go over back as Fulton gets the basketball. Epperly nearly stole it, and he steps across the timeline and back over, and that is a over and back violation called on Shepherd. Bigfork basketball inbound to Epperly. Epperly brings it across the timeline, top of the key, over to Clayton Reichenbach on the right side. Logan Gilliard jumper is off the rim, but Stoltz right there for the rebound. Feeds it out to Epperly. Epperly able to save it. He's going to drive it in. And Logan Gilliard shoots up for 3. Short, but crashes the board. And a foul is going to be called against the Vikings. And that foul is on Logan Gilliard, his first, as he crashes the board after the missed shot. Checking in for the Vikings was number 23, Brady Thorness. Lepley with the basketball in the front court. Over to Martin. Martin's shot up and good. Badger Martin scores his first 2 points with about 4 minutes to go. Nice pass from Epperly across the timeline. Brady Thorness underneath for 2. Everybody getting in on the action for the Vikes. Helgeson over to Feuerstein. Feuerstein looking. Back to Helgeson. Left side, Epperly put the pressure on. Martin with the basketball. Looking to dribble in. Cut off. Stolen away. Epperly now going to dribble it all the way. And knocked away by Helgeson. But feels Brady Thorness and blocked there by Martin out of bounds. As Thorness tries to put it up. And it'll be Bigfork basketball. And Colton Reichenbach will come back into the game for the Vikings, replacing Logan Gilliard. Epperly, the inbound. Feeds it out to Brady Thorness, top of the key. Looks for Epperly. Epperly looking to drive. Sets back. Feeds it to Brady Thorness. Thorness on the left side over to Epperly, top of the key. Stoltz on the right side. Back to Epperly. Eppley looking, finds Clayton Reichenbach top of the key. Colton, over to Colton on the left side, and Epperly was cutting baseline, and Colton tried to get it but missed him, and a turnover by the Vikings. Back to Shepard, inbounding to Martin. Martin with the basketball, looking up the court, throws it to Feuerstein. Out to Lepley. Lepley's jump shot is good for 2. 12-4 on your Harvest Food scoreboard. The Vikings lead the Mustangs, and Epperly will bring the ball up the court and cross the timeline. At the top of the key, screen set. Epperly drives to the right side, gives it to Clayton Reichenbach. Back to Epperly in the corner. Epperly's going to drive, left-handed. Puts the shot up off the backboard, and it's good for 2 for Epperly on a tough shot by Anders. 14-4. Stoltz nearly with the steal. Up on the scorer's table, Randy Stoltz jumps up and over the table. The kids at the sideline, a little shocked right there as Stoltz jumps up, tries to save the ball from going out of bounds, but can't. And Shepard basketball. Helgeson inbound to Lepley. Lepley with the basketball in the backcourt, gives it up to Helgeson in the front court. Guarded by Colton Reichenbach. And Reichenbach a little too aggressive right there. Is going to get called for the foul, and that is the first one on Colton and the second team foul on the Vikings. Wyatt Reichenbach checks in for Bigfork, number 21. Helgeson into Lepley, back to Helgeson on the right side. Looking in the corner, finds Martin. Martin looking underneath for Feuerstein, but Martin picks it up, gives it to Feuerstein underneath, back to Martin. Martin trying to get open shot, but Randy Stoltz is right there playing great defense. Out to Feuerstein. At the top of the key, gives it over to Lepley. Helgeson on the left side, back to Lepley. Lepley out to Fulton. Fulton, Martin is going to drive, but tied up and taken away by Bigfork. Wyatt Reichenbach comes up with it, gives it to Clayton Reichenbach. Over to Stoltz. And just a little bit high for Randy Stoltz. It goes out of bounds. And Colt Thorness will enter the ball game, number 33 for the Vikings. And the Vikings with their new uniforms, the whites with a gray and blue trim today. After that game late last night, I think Tudor's going to give all of them some playing time early. Get their legs back after last night's late ball game. So 14-4, Bigfork over Shepard here in the first quarter on your Harvest Foods scoreboard. So we got Epperly, Gilliard, Clayton Reichenbach, Wyatt Reichenbach, and Colt Thorness in the ball game for the Vikings. Feuerstein, Badger, or Martin, Fulton, Lepley, and Helgeson in the game. We're checking in. Carter Michaels checks in for stolen by Epperly. Epperly going to drive it all the way to the basket and take advantage. Takes it up and good by Epperly for another 2 points. Into Michaels. Up to Helgeson. Helgeson over to Lepley. Lepley left side brings it to the top of the key for the Mustangs. Over to Michaels. Michaels to Lepley. Feeds it up to number 34, Eli Feuerstein. Feuerstein's layup is good. 16-6, Vikings lead the Mustangs. Logan Gilliard underneath from Clayton Reichenbach. Turnaround jumper for 2. Inbound to Michaels. Michaels with the basketball, guarded by Clayton Reichenbach. Looking for Helgeson, trapped in the backcourt. He looked like a 10-second violation. Martin across. Lepley going to drive against Epperly. Martin puts it up and off the rim and no good, but he's going to get fouled on the play. And the foul is on number 33. Colt Thorness, his first and the third team foul on the Vikings. To the line to shoot 2 will be Spencer Lepley for Shepard. First shot is up and good for Lepley. So Colton Reichenbach, Randy Stoltz will come back in the ball game for Clayton Reichenbach and Colt Thorness. Lepley at the line for the second free throw. It's up and good. 18-8, Bigfork over Shepherd on your Harvest Food scoreboard, and just about 45 seconds left to go in the first quarter. Epperly in the front court. Top of the key, feeds it to Colton Reichenbach. Down to Logan Gilliard. Out to Randy Stoltz, top of the key. Stoltz drives in, gives it to Wyatt Reichenbach. Reichenbach shot on the way, no good. But Colton Reichenbach comes down to the rebound, feeds it out to Logan Gilliard. 3-point shot, splash down. 3 points for Logan Gilliard with 25 seconds to go. Inbound, Helgeson with the basketball. Looks it up, throws it in to Martin. And Martin goes to the basket, it's going to get fouled on the play. And foul's going to be called to number 21, Wyatt Reichenbach. His first and 14th foul on the Vikings. To the line, shooting 2, number 24, Braden Fulton for Shepherd with 17.5 to go here in the first quarter. First shot on the way out the back of the rim and no good. So Clayton Reichenbach will replace his brother Wyatt Reichenbach. And Fulton will shoot another free throw for Shepherd. Shot on the way, up and good. 21-9. The Vikes lead by 12 on your Harvest Food scoreboard. Epperly going to bring it across with 14 seconds and counting. And we'll get the last shot for Bigfork. Screens on either side by Bigfork. Epperly is going to drive. Look to kick it out. Finds Clayton Reichenbach on the right side. 3-point shot on the way. No good. Colton tries to tip it up and in. And that is your first quarter on your Harvest Foods Bigfork scoreboard. The Vikings 21 and the Shepherd Mustangs 9. We'll be back momentarily with your second quarter action from Shelby, Montana in the Coyote Tip-Off Classic as the Vikings lead the Mustangs 21-9. All right, welcome back. Second quarter action. James LaFontaine, the voice of the Vikes and the Vals, and Bigfork basketball to start the second quarter. Epperly gets the inbound pass, top of the key, over to Logan Gilliard on the left side, out to Epperly at the top of the key. He's going to survey it, gives it over to Colton Reichenbach, right side, go over to Logan Gilliard. Logan Gilliard out to Stoltz. Stoltz drives. Colton Reichenbach, 3-point shot on the way off the rim, and no good. Rebounded there by Helgeson. Gives it to Lepley for Shepherd. He'll bring it across the timeline in the front court. Over to Helgeson. And out to Michaels. Michaels gives it down in the corner for Shepherd. Out to Fulton. Fulton with the basketball. Out to Lepley. Lepley gives it over to Michaels. Michaels looking to pass. Finds Fulton. Fulton over to Helgeson. Helgeson feeds it in to Fulton. 3-point shot on the way. And good by Carter Michaels for Shepherd. And 21-12, Vikings lead the Mustangs. Epperly, front court, top of the key. Clayton Reichenbach to Stoltz, to Gilliard, to Colton Reichenbach, top of the key. Right side, Epperly with the basketball. He's going to look to drive, up and under, scout the bucket. 2 points as Epperly goes up and under, a chance to complete the 3-point play as the foul is called on number 10, Spencer Lepre. That is his second team foul, and Epperly will go to the line to try to complete the 3-point play. And free throw is up and good. 23-12, the Vikings lead the Mustangs. Inbounded, Michaels up the right side. Brings it to front court, guarded by Epperly. Epperly nearly steals it, knocks it away and out of bounds. It'll be Shepherd basketball on the side. Number 2, Skylar Babcock in for Shepherd. Inbounds it to Lepley in the backcourt. Lepley passes it across the timeline to Michaels. Trapped in the corner by Clayton Reichenbach and Epperly. And knocked away. Pass intended for Lepley. And knocked out about Gilliard, knocked it off of Lepley out of bounds. Bigfork basketball. Epperly, top of the key in the front court. Gives it over to Brady Thornus in the ballgame for Bigfork. Back to Epperly. Epperly looking to drive. Spin move. Takes it up under and throws up a circus shot. No good. Feuerstein with the rebound. Gives it to Lepley. Brings it across the timeline. Top of the key. Feeds it over to Michaels. Michaels back out to Lepley. Over the right side to Babcock. Back to Lepley. Over to Michaels for Shepard. Feeds it to Babcock. Babcock looks underneath. Finds it Feuerstein on the right side. Babcock throws it away. Logan Gary with the steal. Dribble all the way up the court. Pulls up jumper off the rim, but rebound by Clayton Reichenbach and puts it back up off the backboard and good for Bigfork as the Vikings will run the floor. Inbound to Michaels. Michaels feeds it to Lepley. Across the court to Fulton. Fulton in the court of Feuerstein. Out to Lepley. Lepley trying to drive and up and no good. And the whistle blows. Foul's going to be called on number 1. That's on Clayton Reichenbach, his first. And team foul number 5 on the Vikings. And to the line to shoot 2, Spencer Lepley. First free throw is up and good for Lepley. Colton Reichenbach back in for the Vikings. And returning number 30, Badger Martin for Shepard. With 5:25 to go till halftime, and the Vikings leading 26-12 over the Mustangs on your Harvest Food scoreboard. Lepley's second free throw on the way. Off the rim, no good. Stoltz with the rebound. Stoltz out to Epperly. Epperly brings top the timeline. Top of the key, gives it over to Gilliard on the left side. Out to Colton Reichenbach, top of the key. Brady Thornus on the right side. Out to Stoltz, top of the key. He's looking for Epperly, drives over the left side, looking underneath, feeds Gilliard. Gilliard over to Epperly. Epperly's going to drive and puts the shot up. Colton Reichenbach up and good with the layup, 28-12 with 4:55 to go. Pass back from Helgeson to Michaels, surprised him off him and out of bounds to Shepard. Off of Shepard, excuse me, and underneath it'll be Bigfork basketball with 4:53 to go to halftime. Gilliard into Epperly. Epperly fakes the 3, feeds it out to Stoltz. Over to Colton Reichenbach on the right side. Feeds to Brady Thornus. Thornus shot up off the backboard and no good. And rebound there by Martin. Martin is fouled as Brady Thornus goes to the loose ball, and Thornus will pick up his first personal, the team 6 here in the first half. Inbound to Lepley. Lepley across the timeline. At the top of the key, feeds it over to Babcock. Babcock looking, finds Fulton. Fulton over to Lepley. Lepley, long 3 on the way. About 5 feet behind the 3-point line and sinks it for 3, 28-15. Vikings over the Mustangs, 4:15 to go on the Harvest Food scoreboard. Epperly over to Colton Reichenbach. Epperly looking to drive on the way and misses the layup, but he's fouled and go to the line to shoot 2. That foul's on Skylar Babcock, his first, and the third team foul on Shepard. Epperly at the line to shoot 2. First shot is off the rim and no good. Colt Thornus, Clayton Reichenbach back in for Bigfork. And Epperly will get one more free throw with 4:08 to go to halftime. Free throw on the way. Epperly, it is good. 29-15. Inbound to Lepley. Lepley will bring up the court across the timeline, gives it to Fulton. Fulton with the Martin with the basketball. Out to Michaels. Michaels trapped in the corner. Feeds Fulton. Fulton trying to drive. Out to Martin. Off the foot of Epperly as they try to take it away. Out of bounds, it will be Shepard basketball with 3:50 to go here in the first half. Michaels will inbound it for Shepard. Gets it into Lepley. Lepley on the right side, dribbles out to the top of the key. He's going to call out a play, set it up, gives it over to Michaels on the right side. Michaels looking, finds Lepley in the corner, back to Michaels. Michaels looking underneath, nothing available there. Gives it to Lepley on the right side. Michaels way out the top of the right side key. Back to 30 Martin, and he's fouled there by Clayton Reichenbach, and that'll be Clayton's second personal and team 7th. And that will put the Shepherd Mustangs in the bonus and an opportunity to shoot a 1-on-1 as Badger Martin will go to the line for the Mustangs. First shot up and good, so he'll get another. He'll get the bonus. Number 20, Patrick Richardson, will check in for Shepherd with 3:29 to go. 29-16, Vikings lead on your Harvest Food scoreboard. Second shot is up and good, 29-17, inbound. Epperly brings it up and across the timeline at the top of the key. Over the right side, Colt Thorness. Back to Epperly. Epperly driving. Looking to feed Colt. Baseline. Gives it out to Gilliard. Three-point shot on the way out the front of the rim and no good. Michaels with the rebound for Shepherd. Brings it up the right side in the front court. Over to Lepley. Lepley with the basketball on the left side. Hounded there by Clayton Reichenbach. Over to Michaels' right side. Back out to Lepley, top of the key. Lepley will give it to Michaels on the right side. He'll dump down to the middle as Lepley gets it in the right corner. Back out to Michaels, top of the key to Richardson. Richardson will give it to Martin. Stolen away by Epperly. He's going to go coast to coast and scores the layup for 2 more for Anders Epperly. Inbound to Lepley. Lepley in the backcourt with pressure on him. Gives it up to Martin. Martin back to Lepley. Got to get across the timeline. Does. Lepley in the front court. Gives it over to Fulton. Fulton trapped in the corner, knocked away by Gilliard and out of bounds. It'll be Shepherd basketball, 2:18 to go. And the Vikings leading the Mustangs 31-17. Lepley will inbound for the Mustangs. Nearly stolen away by Clayton Reichenbach. Inbounded to Fulton. Fulton will give it to Michaels. Michaels on the left side. Gives it to Lepley. Lepley way out there on the left side. Feeds it to Fulton. Fulton gives it out to Martin. Martin dribbles over the right side. Gives it out to Fulton, top of the key. He'll pass over to Lepley. Thought about taking a long three from about 30 feet, but chose not to now. Back to Lepley. To Martin. Will drive the baseline against Gilliard. Puts it up. Reverse shot. Blocked there by Colt Thorness. Thorness up to Epperly. Out to Logan Gilliard at the three-point shot. Epperly, three-point shot on the way. Stuffed about the bottom of the net by Anders Epperly. Tries to call a timeout but doesn't get it. 34-17. Lepley gives it over to Martin. Tries to get it, got to get across the timeline, got to get a 10-second call. Gets it in front court to Michaels. Michaels dribbling. Thorness right there, Fulton. And Epperly steals it away as the pass was intended for Lepley. Over to Logan Gilliard on the left side in the front court. Gives it back out to Epperly at the top of the key with 1 minute and counting here to go in the first half. Epperly on the drive. He's going to drive, kicks it out. Colt Reichenbach, three-point shot on the way. Off the rim and no good. Rebounded there by Fulton. Gives it over to Martin. Martin across the timeline in the right corner. And off his leg as Gilliard knocks it off of Martin's leg and out of bounds. It'll be turned over to Bigfork as Randy Stoltz will come back in for Clayton Reichenbach with 49.2 to go. Inbound, Epperly with the basketball, leading 34-17, doubling up the Mustangs. Across the timeline, gives it to Stoltz. Stoltz on the right side. He's going to get fouled way out there, away from the thing by number 30. Away from the basket, excuse me. Badger Martin reaches out and slaps Epperly. That's Martin's first and 14th foul on Shepherd. Epperly will inbounds. Gets it in at Gilliard. Epperly was on the sideline when he got it back from Gilliard. And it'll be turned over to the Mustangs. Number 20, Richardson back in for Shepherd. Inbounding to Richardson in the front court. Gives it over to Lepley on the left side. Lepley with the basketball, guarded by Colton Reichenbach. Underneath the Feuerstein. Over to Richardson. Three-point shot on the way by Michaels. And Richardson will get the basketball. Michaels will try to give for three-point off the rim, but no good. And Epperly will come up with a long rebound. Dribbles it up across the front court. Guarded there by Martin. Epperly out the top. 14 seconds and counting. And Epperly dribbling the basketball. Nice screen there by Gilliard. Epperly with 7 seconds to go. Looking to take Michaels. Feeds it over to Gilliard. Gilliard's three-point shot on the way. Off the rim and no good. And rebound time will run out as Martin is down. And Colton Reichenbach goes to help him up as Martin took a shot there at the end. Didn't see what happened as the basketball got moved around. Eppley drove it in. Fed it out to Gilliard. Gilliard puts up a quick three and misses it. Rebound scrambles around, goes out of bounds. So your halftime score, the Bigfork Vikings 34 and the Shepherd Mustangs 17 as the Vikings double up on the Mustangs here at halftime. We'll be back in a couple minutes with your halftime stats. This is James LaFontaine, the voice of the Vikings and Vals from Shelby, Montana. The Coyote tip-off classic as the Vikings lead on your Harvest Food scoreboard 34-17. Well, welcome back to Shelby, Montana, the Coyote Tip-Off Classic. Both teams coming back out, getting ready for the second half of this ball game. And halftime brought to you by the Bigfork Booster Club. And leading the way for the Vikings is Epperly with 15. He's got 5 2-pointers, 1 3-pointer, and 2 free throws for 15 total. Clayton Reichenbach with 4. Colton Reichenbach with 2. Randy Stoltz with 4 and 5 for Logan Gilliard. Brady Thornus also has 2. As 34-17 on your Harvest Food scoreboard. The Vikings doubling up the Shepherd Mustangs here at halftime. And we'll get a second half under one momentarily. We got about 30 seconds to go. James LaFontaine, the voice of the Vikes and the Vals, with you from Shelby, Montana, in the Coyote Tip-Off Classic. Well, we'll get the second half underway. It will be Shepherd basketball on the far side. 406-270-7384. Make sure that you send me a text. Let me know you're listening out there. I give you a shout out. Lepley with the basketball. Over to Martin. Screen feeds it back to Fulton. Fulton up and misses the layup. Gilliard comes up with the rebound. Epperly driving it down the court. Finds Stoltz underneath the Colton Reichenbach. Turnaround jumper by Colton, no good. Rebound there by Fulton. Over to Lepley. Lepley up the left side. Across the timeline in the front court. Feeds it in the corner to Helgeson. Helgeson with the basketball. Harassed there by Clayton Reichenbach, nearly trapped by Gilliard. Feeds it under Feuerstein. Feuerstein kicks it out to Martin. Martin's baseline jumper is no good. Rebounded nearly by Colton Reichenbach, and Feuerstein comes up the rebound, puts it up, no good, out of bounds and off of Shepherd as Eli Feuerstein can't put it in the basket for the Mustangs, and it'll be Bigfork basketball. Inbounding to Epperly. Epperly will bring it up the front court, across the timeline, over to Gilliard on the right side. Stoltz top of the key, Colton Reichenbach out to Epperly. So the same starting 5 for the Vikes. A little weave, Epperly feeds it out. Finds Clayton Reichenbach down in the corner. Out to Colton Reichenbach. Stoltz on the left side. Gilliard, far left side in the corner. Dribbles it out. Gives it out to Epperly, top of the key. Epperly looking to drive. Finds Gilliard. Gilliard into Epperly. Epperly spin move. Takes it up. Shoots it high and out of bounds. Top stanchion and turnover to the Mustangs. Inbound to Helgeson. Helgeson gives it to Feuerstein. Stolen away by Randy Stoltz. Picks up the pass. Finds the feet to Epperly. Throws it away to Martin. Martin will bring it across the timeline up the right side. Does Martin. Brady Thornus will check in for the Vikings. And a foul's called, offensive player control foul called on Shepherd. On Braden Thornton. Braden Fulton, so it'll be Bigfork basketball. Epperly in the front court. Feeds it over to Brady Thornus on the right side. Out to Clayton Reichenbach, top of the key. Over to Colton Reichenbach on the right side. Epperly. Gilliard around the screen, comes to the right side. Gets underneath Clayton Reichenbach. Shot up and a little bit too hard. Martin will come up with a rebound. Feeds it to Helgeson. Helgeson will bring it across the timeline. Nearly stolen away. Clayton Reichenbach steals it, gives it to Epperly. Epperly all the way. Left hand and no good by Epperly. And Shepherd comes up with a rebound in the front court. Epperly gives it to Helgeson. Helgeson moves, shuffles his feet, and travels for Shepherd. So turnover to Bigfork. 34-17. Nobody scored here in the second half with 5:32 to go here in the third quarter, and the Vikings leading 34-17 on your Harvest Food scoreboard. Epperly over to Clayton Reichenbach. Gilliard top of the key. Thornus on the left side. Out to Colton, top of the key. Epperly, right side. Epperly looking to drive. He's going to get fouled. Puts the basket in. It's no good as he's fouled on the floor. And Epperly will take it out of bounds for Bigfork. Feeds it into Gilliard. Gilliard back to Epperly. Epperly looking underneath. Post up. The guy puts it up, and no good by Epperly. His shot just not falling today. Clayton Reichenbach runs it down, gives it to Epperly, left side. Epperly looking, feeds underneath the Thornus. Thornus layup, and no good, but he's fouled. It will go to the line. So Fulton picks up the foul. That is his third team foul on Shepard, and timeout. A full timeout will be called by the Vikings as Brady Thornus after the timeout will go to the line to shoot 2 for Bigfork as the score remains 34-17, the same it was at halftime. So nobody's put in a basket here in the third quarter. Epperly's shots yesterday that were falling underneath are just not quite doing it today here in the third quarter. At least getting good looks. So on the court for the Vikes, it'll be Epperly, Clayton Reichenbach, Colton Reichenbach, Brady Thornus, and Logan Gilliard. For Shepard, it'll be Helgeson, Lepley, Fulton, Martin, and Feuerstein, and Thornus at the line for 2 shots for the Vikings. First shot is up and off the front of the rim by Brady Thornus. He'll get one more with 4:56 to go here in the third quarter. Thornus shot up and good. So the first points here in the third quarter, 35-17, Lepley. Martin back to Helgeson. Stolen away by Anders Epperly. Epperly looking, finds Colton Reichenbach, shot up and makes the layup. It is good. And Colton will go to the line to try to complete the and one. 14th foul, the foul is the second foul on number 30, Martin. Free throw up and no good. And rebounded there by Shepard. Lepley with the basketball, bringing it across the front court, 37-17. Feeds it, stolen away by Clayton Reichenbach to Epperly. Epperly right up the middle, going to take it all the way. A little floater off the backboard, and he's going to get called for the player control foul. Is Anders Epperly, and that'll be his first foul and the first team foul on the Vikings here in the second half. Checking in for Shepard, it'll be number 5. Carter Michaels replaces Badger Martin. Shout out to Jimmy Fant. They're listening down in Georgia. Michaels with the basketball in the backcourt for Shepard. Lepley feeds it in the front court. Oh, and Fulton with the basketball puts up the layup, misses, but Gilliard comes down with the rebound. He's going to feed it over to Epperly on the left side, right side. Clayton Reichenbach wide open, but went to find his brother underneath and took steps. Randy Stoltz will turn the lineup for Bigfork, and Logan Gilliard will get a break. And Michaels with the basketball as Evan Lepley. Lepley trying to drive all the way, takes it in. And they're going to call a blocking foul on Brady Thornus underneath as Lepley drives to the basket. And Brady was moving just a little bit. And Lepley will go to the line. That is Brady's second. And second team foul here in the second half on Bigfork. Lepley's first shot is up and good for Shepard. So Colt Thorness will check in the ballgame here in the second half, and returning is Logan Gilliard. So you have Gilliard, Thorness, Epperly, Stoltz, and Clayton Reichenbach. Second shot by Lepley is also good. 37-19 on your Harvest Food scoreboard. Vikings lead with 4 minutes to go here in the third quarter. Epperly, front court, top of the key, feeds it over to Gilliard. Gilliard right side into Stoltz to Epperly. Epperly shot up, pump fakes, gets him up in the air, and he'll shoot two as the basket will not fall. And fouls on number 10, Spencer Lepley. That's Lepley's second and 15th foul. Epperly to the line, and he'll shoot two for the Vikings. First shot is up and good for Epperly. And he'll get one more for the Vikings. Second shot on the way, and nothing but the bottom of the net. 39-19, up by 20 of the Vikings over the Mustangs on the Harvest Food scoreboard. Pass intended, stolen away by Schultz, knocked to Epperly, back to Stoltz on the left side, and looking underneath the secondary break. Epperly, three-point shot on the way from the top of the key, and hits the bottom of the net. And Bigfork will take a timeout, and a 30-second timeout. Check that. It will be a full timeout called by the Vikings here in the third quarter as Vikings stretch the lead 42-19 here on your Harvest Food scoreboard in the third quarter. They're playing good defense, holding Shepherd down to only 19 through almost 3 quarters complete. And things are starting to fall for Bigfork. It was just a 30-second timeout, excuse me. They're back. Michaels will take it out underneath for Shepherd. So Stoltz, Epperly, Clayton Reichenbach, Gilliard, and Thorness for the Vikings. Into Michaels. Michaels up the right side. Corner to Feuerstein. Feuerstein looking for Michaels. Michaels dribbling on the right side. He's trapped by Clayton Reichenbach. Gives it up to Fulton. Fulton over to Helgeson. Lepley on the left side. Looking underneath, feeds it to Fulton. Blocked by Colt Thorness. Out. Rebounded by Gilliard underneath. Epperly back to Gilliard. Gilliard shot off the rim and gets his own rebound. Puts it up off the backboard and good for Logan Gilliard. And inbound, Helgeson with the basketball, and he's going to get fouled there out by half court by number 30. Logan Gilliard, that is his third team foul on the Vikings here in the second half. And Babcock will return for Shepherd and take it out of bounds into the backcourt to Lepley. Lepley across the timeline, top of the key, over to Michaels on the right side. Lepley in the corner. Feeds it into Feuerstein, and Thorness is going to get called for reaching in, and that's going to be Colt Thorness' second, and the 14th foul on the Vikings here in the second half. Lepley to take it out of bounds, looking to try to get it in. Feeds it out to Babcock, over to Feuerstein, underneath to Fulton. Fulton goes up. And tried to save it was Michaels, but stepped on the end line and turnover to the Vikings. 44-19, 2:40 to go. Inbounding to Epperly. Epperly across the timeline in the front court, the top of the key. Feeds it over right side to Colt Thorness. Thorness looks underneath for Clayton Reichenbach. Reichenbach passes it out. And Randy Stoltz, trying to go for that loose ball, is going to pick up his first personal 15 foul on the Vikings. And Colton Reichenbach will give Epperly a break with 2:25 to go here in the third quarter. And the Vikings leading the Mustangs 44-19 on your Harvest Food scoreboard. Holding foul called on Stoltz, his second, 16th foul on the Vikes. One more and Shepherd will be in the bonus. Inbounding, stolen away by, knocked away, nearly stolen by Clayton Reichenbach on the near side. And Babcock will take it in just in front of the bench. The Vikes inbound to Michaels. Stoltz putting pressure on Michaels in the backcourt. Up to Babcock. Babcock. Looking. Stolen away by Clayton Reichenbach as he tries to get it in. Bank shot. Good. Counted as he shoots the floater off the backboard. And good for two does Clayton Reichenbach. And he'll go to the line to shoot the and one. And that foul is called on Skylar Babcock, his second. And the 16th foul, Clayton Reichenbach at the line to shoot the and one. Off the rim and no good. Rebounded by Fulton for Shepard. Gives it to Lepley. Lepley, right side. Trying to bring it in the front court. Finds Michaels. Michaels across the timeline. Top of the key over to Lepley, right side. The corner to Babcock. Babcock guarded by Gilliard. Lepley down the corner, out to Gilliard. Stolen away. Clayton Reichenbach with the rebound. Gives it up to Gilliard on the right side. Left side, excuse me. Over to Clayton Reichenbach. Randy Stoltz, top of the key. Feeds it out to Colton Reichenbach. Gilliard underneath. Shoots it up. No good. Gets his own rebound. Throws it out to Colton Reichenbach. Nice save by Gilliard. Stoltz. Thornus with the basketball. Over to Clayton Reichenbach. Underneath. Feeds Stoltz out to Colt Thornus. Gilliard with 1:24 to go. Stoltz left side. Looking underneath. Colton Reichenbach, top of the key. Feeds it to Gilliard, the right side. Gilliard looking underneath. Clayton Reichenbach. Thornus on the left side. Out to Stoltz, top of the key. Over the right side to Colton Reichenbach. Out to top of the key. Stoltz to the basketball. Feeds it left side. Thornus to Gilliard. Gilliard turn around. Puts it up, but he's going to get fouled on the play. He'll go to the line to shoot two for the Vikings. Will Logan Gilliard. Fouls on number 5. That's Carter Michaels. His first and 7th team foul. At the line for 2 shots, Logan Gilliard. First shot is up and good by Gilliard. Anders Epperly and Brady Thornus back in for Bigfork. Number 20, Patrick Richardson and Badger Martin are going to return for Shepard. 47-19 with just under 1 minute to go. Second shot on the way by Gilliard, and that was good as well. 59 seconds, inbounded to Martin. Martin's going to bring it across the timeline. Gives it to Helgeson. Helgeson trapped. Bring it out. Stolen by Brady Thornus. He's going to feed up to Colton Reichenbach. Reichenbach, left-handed layup. Good. 50-19 with 42 and counting here in the third quarter. Helgeson gives it over to Martin. Martin trying to dribble past Gilliard. Out to Babcock. Over to Lepley. Underneath to Fulton. Fulton's layup is good for 2. Inbound Epperly. Up the right side to Clayton Reichenbach to Epperly. He's going to hold for 1 shot. The last shot of the third quarter. Clayton Reichenbach, right side with 15 seconds and counting. Top of the key to Colton Reichenbach. Underneath to Logan Gilliard. Gilliard shot up off the backboard and counted for 2 for Gilliard on a turnaround. And he's going to get fouled to go to the line to shoot the and one. Does Logan Gilliard. Number 10, Spencer Lepley with the foul, his third. And 18 foul Gilliard to shoot the and one for the Vikings. Shot is up and good, and completes the 3-point play. And 53-21 on your Harvest Food scoreboard with 9 seconds to go here in the third quarter. Inbound to Lepley. Lepley across to Fulton. Fulton trying to get a shot up, blocked. Out to Epperly. Epperly from 2 seconds left, long range. Puts up the 3 out the front of the rim, and no good. So 3 quarters complete from Shelby, Montana. And the Coyote Tip-Off Classic as the Bigfork Vikings have 53 on the scoreboard, and the Shepard Mustangs have 21 on your Harvest Food scoreboard. We'll be back here in about 1 minute with your fourth quarter action. All right, welcome back. James LaFontaine, the voice of the Vikes and the Vals. Fourth quarter action getting ready to go here between the Vikings and the Mustangs. And Bigfork basketball to start the fourth quarter, inbounded to Epperly. Epperly, top of the key. Gives it out to the left side to Gilliard. Gilliard back out to Epperly. Over to Brady Thorness. Over to Epperly in the corner. Epperly looking underneath, gives it to Thorness. Thorness going to drive in and off the backboard and nearly taken away. Lepley will come up the rebound for Shepard, pulls up the jumper, no good. Gilliard feeds it out to Epperly, and Gilliard's going to get fouled as he tries to get the rebound up to Epperly. He'll go to the line to shoot the and one, and fouls at number 20, Patrick Richardson. That'll be his first personal, 9th team foul on Shepard. Gilliard at the line to shoot the N1. First free throw on the way for Gilliard, and it's good. 54-21, your Harvest Food scoreboard. Vikings lead the Mustangs. Second shot up and on the way. It's good as well for Gilliard. Inbound to Martin, to Lepley, back to Martin. Over to Lepley at left side. Still in the backcourt. Feeds it up to Fulton. Fulton feeds it to Babcock. Babcock over to Lepley. Stolen away by Epperly. Epperly going to drive it in. Feeds it over to Gilliard. Gilliard, three-point shot. Takes a look. Nope. Clayton Reichenbach, two-pointer. Good for Clayton Reichenbach with 10 points now in the ball game. Martin with the basketball. Feeds it to Lepley, top of the key. Lepley going to dribble. Gives it over to Babcock on the left side. Babcock with the basketball. Drives in. Feeds to Lepley. Down in the corner on the left side. Underneath to Martin. Martin shot short. Rebounded by Epperly. Out to Clayton Reichenbach. Up and layup is good by Clayton Reichenbach on the pass from Epperly. Martin will bring it across the timeline for Mustangs. Over to Babcock. Babcock in the corner. He feeds it to Martin. Stolen away by Epperly. Epperly going to drive. Finds Logan Gilliard. Gilliard underneath. Spin around and blocked there by Martin. Fulton with the basketball. Feeds it out to Lepley on the left side. Three-point shot on the way. And good by Spencer Lepley. 59-24. 6:10 to go and counting as Epperly brings it across the timeline. And up the right side. Looks underneath. Looks to drive. Feeds it out to Clayton Reichenbach. Over to Gilliard. Top of the key. Colton Reichenbach looks. Finds Brady Thorness underneath. Little spin move by Brady Thorness. Layup. Powers it up and a power move. 2 points for Brady Thorness. And 61-24. 5:45 and counting as the Vikings lead. Shepard on your Harvest Food scoreboard. Lepley top of the key. Feeds it over to Babcock. Left side. Babcock looks underneath. Brings it back to the top of the key. Feeds it to Richardson. Richardson over to Martin. Martin looking to drive. And Martin is fouled and scores the bucket. He'll go to the line to shoot the N1 as foul is called to number 30. Logan, that's his third and 7th team foul on the Vikings. Checking in, Randy Stoltz, Colt Thorness, and number 11, Trey Christians also. So you have Christians, Thorness, free throw on the way, no good. Rebounded by Fulton, puts it back up and good. So Gilliard, Stoltz, Colt Thorness, Christians, and Colton Reichenbach in the game for the Vikings. Colt Thorness, right side. Gets a pass from Stoltz. Tries to hit Randy on the cutting and knocked out of bounds by Richardson. It'll be Bigfork basketball underneath, and Stoltz will take it out. Stoltz calls the play. Looks, finds Logan Gilliard. Gilliard shot, but he's fouled on the floor before the shot goes up. And the foul is going to be on Richardson. Richardson, 2nd and 10th team foul. Or check that. I believe it's a 9th team foul. Anyway, Logan Gilliard's going to go to the line and get, that is the 10th team foul. He'll get 2 shots, does Gilliard. First shot up and good for Logan Gilliard. Second shot on the way by Gaillard is good as well. 63-28 on your Harvest Food scoreboard. The Vikings lead the Mustangs. Inbound to Helgeson, to Martin. Martin right side, guarded by Stoltz. Over to Lepley. Lepley, top of the key. Pressure by Bigfork. Lepley, left side, guarded by Christians. Out to Richardson. Richardson. Helgeson, the basketball on the right side. Out to Fulton. Back to Helgeson. Helgeson looking to drive. Nowhere to go. Puts a shot up. Well, nope. Jumps, but feeds it out to Fulton. Back to Martin, top of the key. Martin on the drive. Kicks it out to Helgeson. Helgeson is going to travel on the play and turn over to Bigfork. Clayton Reichenbach will come in the ball game for Logan Gaillard. Logan Gaillard out, so Stoltz will bring it across the timeline for Bigfork. Feeds it over to Colton Reichenbach on the left side. Out to Clayton at the top. Over to Trey Christians. Fields Thornus down underneath to the right side. Back out to Randy Stoltz. Colton Reichenbach over to Clayton Reichenbach. Up, and layup is good by Clayton Reichenbach. And Reichenbach with 14 in the ball game. Martin over to Helgeson, out to Lepley. Lepley will dribble to the top of the key with 4 minutes to go and counting in this ball game. Lepley over to Martin. Martin looks, tries to hit Lepley, and Colton Reichenbach comes up with it. Stoltz, Christians. Clayton Reichenbach shot on the way off the rim, and no good. Colton Reichenbach nearly comes up with it. Lepley with the rebound for the Mustangs. Across the timeline in the front court. Lepley feeds it over to Martin, right side. Martin looking underneath, looking to dribble, and finds Fulton. Fulton jump fakes, pump fakes, gets him up in the air, and makes the basket for two. Inbound, Stoltz. 65-30 on your Harvest Food scoreboard. Stoltz at the top of the key, dribbles over the right side. Looking to drive underneath. Randy Stoltz all the way to the basket, scores the basket, and he's fouled, and will try to complete the three-point play. Does Randy Stoltz. Helgeson with the foul, his second, and Randy Stoltz will go to the line, and he'll get an opportunity to complete the three-point play the old-fashioned way, as 34 Feuerstein checking in for Shepherd. And Stoltz shot up and off the front of the rim, no good. But Clayton Reichenbach comes up with the rebound, feeds it out to Stoltz at the top of the key. Stoltz underneath finds Colton Reichenbach wide open, feeds it in there, and Colton with the basket for the Vikings. 69-32, 57. Helgeson with the basketball, top of the key, over to Lepley. Lepley drives on the left side, out to Feuerstein, out to Martin. Martin looking to drive. Clayton Reichenbach right there. Nearly stolen by Stoltz. Fulton, long shot by Lepley for three. And Fulton comes up with a rebound, a long rebound, over to Martin. And they're going to get Clayton Reichenbach with a foul, a little ticky-tack foul on the push. Wyatt Reichenbach will replace Clayton Reichenbach. Number 12, Garrett Ledger, will check in for Shepherd. At the line is Martin. Shut at Lepley. And Lepley will shoot the 1-and-1. And he'll get another one. Up, shot is up and good. And checking back in for Shepherd will be number 5, Carter Michaels. 2:31 to go in the ball game. And the Vikings 69, the Mustangs 32 on your Harvest Food scoreboard. Stoltz with the basketball at the top of the key. Feeds it over to Wyatt Reichenbach on the right side. Reichenbach out to Trey Michaels. Michaels over to Colton Reichenbach. Stoltz at the top of the key. Michaels right side. Colt Thornus top of the key. Wyatt Reichenbach feeds it underneath to Colton Reichenbach. Turnaround jumper layup is no good off the rim, but back of the rim, but he'll get two as Colton Reichenbach will go to the line. Ledger, number 12, his first personal. And at the line is Colton Reichenbach to shoot 2 for the Vikings. First shot is up off the rim, front of the rim, off the backboard, and goes down for 2. Brady Thornus replacing his brother Colt Thornus in the lineup for the Vikings. And Colton Reichenbach's second free throw will be on the way. And this time, straight down the net, 71-32 with 2 minutes to go here in the ballgame. Lepley brings it into the front court. Over to Michaels. Michaels on the right side, looking for Lepley in the corner. And Brady Thornus knocks it away. Out to Colton Reichenbach. Randy Stoltz brings up the court. Layup and good by Randy Stoltz. And Lepley will bring it across the timeline for Shepard. To Fulton. Fulton feeds it underneath to Feuerstein. Feuerstein's layup off the backboard. No good. Saved by Wyatt Reichenbach. Up to Brady Thornus. Randy Stoltz in the front court. Colton Reichenbach on the right side. And Wyatt Reichenbach goes to the basket, but Feuerstein will block it and comes up with the rebound. Feeds it up to Michaels. Right side by Shepard. Feeds it over to Lepley. Lepley's three-point shot on the way is no good. Saved inbounds to Colton Reichenbach. Stoltz to Trey Christians. Tries to feed it back to Stoltz off the leg of Lepley. Christians comes up with a loose ball. Stoltz top of the key, fields over to Colton Reichenbach. Out to Reichenbach, three-point shot on the way from the top of the key, and no good. Saved inbound by Stoltz. Michaels comes up with it. Dribbles up the right side for Shepard. Feeds it in the corner. Feuerstein's shot is off, and Brady Thornus will come up with the rebound. And a held ball called. Possession belongs to Shepard. Checking back in for Shepard. Number 3, Tanner Helgeson. Number 20, Patrick Richardson. And back in for the Vikings, it'll be number 33, Colt Thornus, replacing Randy Stoltz. Stoltz with 8. And the mercy rule's underway. Clock is running. Helgeson inbounds it off of Thornus, knocks it out of bounds. And the Vikings up 73-32, so the clock will continue to run. Thornus inbound to Christians, so they're just going to hold the basketball, bring it in the front court, and call this a ball game. And they'll hand it to Colton Reichenbach at the top of the key. And the Vikings win this one by 41. Your final. The Bigfork Vikings 73, the Shepard Mustangs 32 on your Harvest Food scoreboard. We'll be back momentarily to wrap up your full game stats from Shelby, Montana in the Coyote Tip-Off Classic. So the Vikings scored 71 last night, scored 73 today. So they're averaging 72 points on the season. I'll be back momentarily. Get your full game stats here from Shelby, Montana. Thanks for tuning in to Viking basketball on BFSD events on YouTube. Be back momentarily. All right, welcome back to Shelby, Montana, the Coyote Kickoff Classic. I got your finals point total for the Vikings. as they win this one going away 73-32 on your Harvest Food scoreboard. And a big shout out to Margaret Spalgos and Harvest Foods of Bigfork, and also the Bigfork Booster Club and Zoe Bedford for sponsoring to bring you these games. I'm looking for more sponsors for the rest of the regular season to cover some games when I'm on the road, to be able to cover expenses and gas money, and also any extra money to buy new equipment along the way so I can bring on another guy or another student that we're looking to do. So I needed some new equipment to be able to do that and bring all these games, as many as possible. Trying to do the Loyola game coming up on the 18th, a doubleheader down in Loyola. I'll be down there for that. I'm sure I'll get permission to do that. But your final on the Harvest Food scoreboard, 73-32 as the Vikings take this one, and 2-0 on the season, and looking good to defend their state title from last year. Leading the way for the Vikings was Anders Epperle with 20 points, and then Logan Gilliard had 16. Brady Thornitz with 5, 8 for Randy Stoltz, and then Colton Reichenbach had 10, and Clayton had 14. So pretty much a balanced scoring attack. The Vikings look good again today. Tudor kind of made some substitutions early after having that late ball game last night. It's kind of hard. You got to recover and get back for this ball game today. So everybody got a chance, an opportunity to play for the Vikings in a runaway as they win by 41. Thanks for joining us on Viking basketball here at Bigfork on YouTube, BFSD events. We'll have the Valkyries game this afternoon as they will take on a very tough team in Belt. Coming up at 2:30 scheduled tip-off, and we're running a little bit behind. And the Belt Lady Huskies. Look at that, they got 2 seniors and the rest are juniors, but they've been playing together just like our seniors for Bigfork on the boys' side. So that'll be a tough test for the Valkyries. Missing 2 starters. Meredith Bedford out sick, as well as our thoughts and prayers out to Rakaya Grendy and the Grendy family as she battles health issues, and hope everything went well for Rakaya and them. Our thoughts and prayers out to them. We'll catch you this afternoon at 2:30 for Valkyrie action here. Once again, your final as the Vikings take this one 73-32 on your Harvest Food scoreboard. This is James LaFontaine, the voice of the Vikings and Vals. Thanks for joining us. Have a great afternoon. We'll catch you at 2:30 on Bigfork basketball. Thank you and good afternoon.